Frantic Nerdcast here to stay. AJ, Brock, and Zach will say, join the ride, don't fade away. Nerdy joy in full display.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Frantic Nerdcast. I hope you're having a wonderful day. How are you both going?
Having a
Fantastic.
wonderful day.
Excellent. Anything exciting happened over the last week?
I'm a week into work, getting used to it.
We've
Zach's
got thumbs
waving.
up. We've got hands up.
No, I was going to say, I went and watched AJ play hockey. That was very exciting.
Yeah, we tied, but it was good.
Yeah, it was an exciting result. There was a few quick goals in the second period.
Something like that, I think it was.
Yeah, it's definitely a sport I'd like to go and watch a bit more of. But yeah, it was interesting. I don't think I could play it for a few reasons. My ankles, my knee.
Name them.
My ankles, my knees, my back, fitness. But I think mentally, I think I would struggle with the constant changing. I think after playing soccer my whole life and like being on the field for as long as I wanted to be, even if I'm not touching the ball.
I think this is without having played hockey. I think something that would help with that is you are fucking knackered, aren't you? After like
I
that you're on there, so that you
That's it,
need
like,
it, or
I had that conversation with AJ. Fully understand the tactics behind it, fitness behind it, those sorts of things. But I just think mentally I couldn't do it because I'd be like, because there's a few times I saw him, he'd go on, not touch the puck, and then 30 seconds later he'd be off. I'm like, that would annoy me after a while.
See, I was always I've pretty much everything that I've done, I've been a keeper. So naturally, I would probably end up in the fucking goals there
That
as
would
well.
be the one position I think I could do.
Yeah, there's a little bit difference between a ball coming at you and a puck coming at you.
No, but even like through school, it's still not ice hockey, but playing floor hockey and whatnot in at the school.
Fucking mental.
So doing that, and I used to stand in goals, and that's when you had no padding because you were just at school, and so my knuckles used to come home all split and shit because I was just fucking down on the ground with whatever and then hit, and he's like, oh yeah, this is cool.
One of my mates,
couple black eyes.
One of my mates played floorball for Australia, which is effectively indoor hockey, and the bruises he would come back wearing pads. I'm like, yeah, fuck that.
So yeah, I'd be that idiot, but I can't skate. Or at least
Fair
not
enough.
very well.
I can, just not well.
I've been to a game. It's good fun. For how readily accessible it is, it's not super well known outside of like the people who play hockey and like that immediate sort of. So, I mean.
And we all started playing because of Mighty Ducks.
Exactly. But I mean,
let's be honest.
But I mean, when the games that I went to, it was packed, but I think it would be the same amount of people every week and it would be the same amount of people and the same people every week.
Yeah. Oh, you get a lot of young kids and all that kind of stuff, and to the big NHL, the AIHL games and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I also think it's a sport that's, from the brief moment I watched it, more exciting behind the goals. Because I know, like watching soccer, I don't always like being behind the goals because the field is a lot bigger, and once at the other end you can't see. But usually, like being at the corner, like gives you a good perspective for soccer. Whereas for this, I thought I had a better perspective behind the goal mouth than I did on the side where we were.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I did? As we've been talking about Invincible, because Zach's been smashing through the TV series, I got into the comics. So I decided, fuck it, I will start at the start. I will go through them and whatnot. It's good. As AJ has said a few times, it is very true. The TV show is very true to the comics, which it is. Probably one of the big flips, which I think you've mentioned, is that the start of season 1 on TV opens up with Omni-Man fucking up the whatever the group's called.
The Justice League.
Guardians of the Globe.
Guardians of the Globe. Yeah, so fucking them up, like that's where it starts. In the comics, that's like at the back end of that arc. So it's much further down. Much preferred the way the TV did it. I thought that was incredible because it was sort of thrown at you, it was dragged out on the TV, and you were sort of forced to like be ingrained and watch it for however long it went. Whereas in the comic, it's literally like 2 panels.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like in the comic, I'm kind of like, oh fuck, this is where it starts, and then it's finished.
It's
like I was expecting it to be really drawn out in the comic, but it just wasn't. It just happened.
That was one of my favorite parts in the show because it gave you that intrigue, and then there was a purpose behind the next few episodes of trying to watch everyone. The interactions with him as they're slowly unraveling, like, this is what he did.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the other big plots, like I said, my main issue with the Invincible Wars was it just happened. There wasn't really any real build up or things, and it didn't last multiple episodes. It was just the one episode. It was here. It was amazing, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
So I would have liked, I think they did that really well in season 1 because it built intrigue over the next basically the whole season.
But in any case, I'm going to keep cracking on with it, and I have no doubt that at some point in time I will overtake where the TV series is, and when I reach that moment, I will decide if I continue reading or not.
You won't stop.
Well, it must. It's next year, isn't it? Wouldn't it's not this year?
Oh, it's a fair way away. Yeah, it's going to take a while.
I think it was 27, like late 26, early 27 or something.
Oh
like
no,
that.
it'll be 26, I reckon. But it's probably going to be mid 26, I reckon.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so about a year away from now.
Which awesome.
All right, let us jump straight into the funness. Me and Zachary got to go and see the good old Thunderbolts.
We did.
Now,
I
Brock,
haven't seen it.
Yeah, you Asterix. Yeah, you
Yeah.
were going to go see
I
it
was
last
gonna go
night,
see
and
it,
then you didn't.
And he fell asleep.
Didn't get round to it. But in any case, this is going to be spoilers. I am aware that I'm going to get spoilers, which is fine. I have a couple of questions in that I haven't seen it yet, and these are things that I sort of thought may occur or pick up on, or at least one probably big thing. I'll just fucking come out with it. Taskmaster dies.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So,
Spoilers.
I said spoilers
Yeah, I
before.
know.
Not like that, though. But yeah, Taskmaster dies.
Yep.
You picked that up through the trailer because...
Everyone said it anyway. Yeah.
Because in the trailer, because I vaguely remember when we were doing the trailer and I said, there's some other things that happen here, but I'm not going to say them just yet, just in case. And yeah, there's like a big thing where you get to it's Valentino or Valentine or whatever when they go up to see it and Taskmaster isn't there. It's like, well... I wonder why she's not there and the rest of them are. So it was like
and also she didn't do any of the promotion.
that too.
Yeah. But as I say, it was apparently one of the first scripts had her throughout it. It was a change to have her killed off at the start. And it was meant to be like a running joke of her forgetting throughout that she was not supposed to kill fake Captain America. And like apparently they were like going to have that banter throughout the whole thing. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I reckon they've done it 100% just to be like, okay, now we can redo Taskmaster because we fucked it up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Guarantee you that's why they changed it.
That's fair.
To that.
Because it kind of fell short in Black Widow. Like it was built up to be something that was pretty cool, and it just I don't know. It definitely fell short, unfortunately.
So the movie.
also, was that your only prediction?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the big one. There was a couple of other things rattling around in my head, but I didn't have time to actually correlate that into words. So I figured, fuck it, I'll remember that one, and the rest of them I'll just go along for the ride.
So basically, Thunderbolts starts off pretty much where the most current Marvel shit's been, because nothing's really
like the end
nothing's
of,
really connected at the moment.
So the end of the latest, like Captain America.
It's basically said if not, just after that time, because there was a comment made that we had our president or something was a rampaging monster. So
it's based after Captain America.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So basically, it starts off with Florence Pugh doing a job, blowing up a building.
Yeah, that was the real prominent one that they were smashing in the trailers.
Yeah. So it's basically she's there blowing up the building, and in the kind of background you see some shadows up like burn marks on the walls. Yep. And like instantly, because I knew who the main baddie was, I was like, no, that's what's happened there. But she blows up that building, and then she's like, oh, I want to kind of be more like my sister, basically.
Sure.
Yeah,
and
the whole time she's fighting the guys in there and like having this existential crisis, talking to them, going, but I want more and this, and I feel like I could do more.
So who's she working for at that point in time?
Valentina.
Okay.
Yeah. So and in that same time, Valentina is in federal court.
Yep.
Potentially getting what did Donald Trump get? Impeached.
Impeached basically for like crimes against humanity for human testing.
And so she's like in the background getting everything put away to get destroyed.
Because she gave a US agent the serum, didn't she?
Yeah.
She was involved in that.
And so basically she's like, we need to clean up everything. We need to clean up all our assets. So essentially it gets US agent,
Ghost,
Yelena, Ghost, Taskmaster into this one room, and it all locks down. And essentially it's a big incinerator.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that Bob is in there.
Yep. Because that's that amazing scene from the trailer that we went through, where it's like the knife that gets thrown and it like does the rounds around the room. It's so fucking good. Yeah,
but it's all they've been told. Like Yelena's been told she's there to kill Ghost. Ghost has been told she's there to kill Taskmaster. Taskmaster's told the US soldier. And then Bob's just like, who are you? He's like, Bob?
and so Bob's effectively an accident. So no one knows, or Valentina doesn't know that he's actually there, and it was
She thinks they've all been
testing was a
destroyed.
success.
Sure.
So
And essentially, like, they eventually get out through hilarity and fun times. And Yelena's got all soldiers there, finds out about Sentry, or Bob decides to implement the Sentry protocol. Yelena's dad picks him up.
Yep.
And shenanigans
best part of
ensue.
the
Winter
movie.
Soldier rocks up,
He's so good.
and everyone becomes friends.
Yep.
They go to stop Yelena. Then by that point, Sentry,
not Yelena, Valentina.
Valentina, and then they do a bit of fighting, and Sentry just beats the living shit out of every single one of them with ease.
Nice.
And then essentially he's like, I'm God. Like,
Yep.
you can't boss me around. And she's like, she pulls a kill switch on him. And that's when he turns to Void.
Yep.
And he just fucks shit up.
And it was done fantastic.
Because
well.
he is just, it's full silhouette.
Yeah.
Like, he's just black with like little hints where his chin and stuff
and
are.
like just
okay.
And it looks
deep
so
black
good.
set eyes in the black silhouette. Like, it was done really well, and like even the noises when people get voided is just wow. It was so well done, and just like the silhouette just appears. It was done really well.
Yep.
But I think overall, it's definitely the best Marvel movie I've seen in a while.
Yep.
And I think that's because they just hit every metric well. It had the right amount of action at the right times. It had the right amount of humor at the right times. The emotions were there. The storyline was easy to follow. It wasn't convoluted, really. And it was nice and smooth, and it happened throughout. Like, there was no moments of like dead spots.
My favorite thing of it was a lot of that. But and it flowed like really quick.
Yep.
Like, it didn't feel like it halted at all kind
No,
of thing.
it was like a 2.5 hour movie, and honestly, like, I thought we'd only been there for 90 minutes. Like, it just everything.
And
got
my
clean.
favorite thing about the entire film is the end fight. No giant blue laser beam, no big fucking fight kind of thing. It is, because the movie is essentially Yelena's movie.
Sure.
It's not a Thunderbolts movie, whatever. It's Yelena's movie. And essentially, the big end fight is she gets voided and she wakes up and she's inside this dream world thing, and she has to go through all these different parts of her past, and she eventually finds Bob.
Yep.
And then Bob has to fight Void inside his mind.
Yeah, right.
And
Okay,
then
that's pretty cool.
And they literally win the day by a group hugging.
Okay.
Power of friendship.
Like, that's the power of friendship win. Like, there's no big fight. It's
Okay.
Bob is just belting the shit, like punching Void. That's it. Like, no big like superhero punches or anything. It's
Sure,
just,
sure, sure.
He's just bar fight punching him, and then they group hug,
Yeah, okay.
and that's the end. That's the end fight. It's amazing.
Right.
And then right at the end of it, Yelena says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to the new Avengers."
Okay.
Valentina.
So that's how it
Valentina, sorry.
Valentina
And,
says
yeah.
it, does she? Okay.
And
So
that's when
she's kind of running it. Really.
So she's
that surprised me. I thought
she's about to be fucked over.
Yeah.
I forget her name. What's old lad that runs Suicide Squad?
Oh yeah.
Viola
yeah,
Davis.
yeah. But that's not her name. But yes.
Her character. She's effectively
Waller.
running like
Yeah,
she's
Waller.
a mirror of that, but without a little bit more lightheartedness, I'd say, to it.
Okay.
Because she's not actually controlling the Thunderbolts in this.
Yeah.
She's just doing Sentry, and the Thunderbolts are trying to stop her.
Yeah, sure.
And then just as they're about to like chase her down, all this press is there, and she runs out, and she's like, and then she like to save her own ass says, "Lady and gentlemen," and
new
like
Avengers
Yelena
are-
walks up next to her and right in her ear and goes, "I own you now."
Okay, so that was probably one of my other questions, or not questions, but something I'm going to look.
What the asterisk stands for?
No, not the
I was
asterisk.
gonna
Because
ask
I mean,
you for his
that's come
prediction.
through for the new Avengers. Like we went through
Yeah.
a few different things way back when. There was Dark Avengers, Reign Avengers, or Avengers Reign, or something like that. I think you might have mentioned New Avengers. I can't remember. But in any case, we knew it would be something along those lines. So it was a New Avengers, and since then, I know that Marvel's gone around to all of their social media accounts and like done a copyright on Avengers.
So that's a comment because of one of the cutscenes with they're referencing Sam Wilson.
Yeah.
He's like he's trying to keep the Avengers name.
Yeah. So I seen that sort of thing, but yeah, that's something I wanted to go like into a bit of a dive as to what this new Avengers is going to
Well,
be.
so-
because is it Avengers or is it new Avengers?
Well,
like
they're
what
different. It's kind of like West Coast Avengers.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of thing. Like it's kind of like just different teams on the different coasts. Like
Sure.
the Avengers are like all of them.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you got your West Coast Avengers, East Coast Avengers, all that kind of stuff. So it's basically they're doing that.
Okay.
I think.
Kind of like how you have Young Avengers.
Yeah, and so the idea of this in the movie is that the Avengers don't exist anymore.
Yep.
So they've called them the New Avengers because they're the new team.
Okay.
But then Sam Wilson, at the end of it in the post-credit scenes, they come in saying like Sam Wilson's copyrighted the Avengers.
Yeah.
So they can't call themselves that. So they have to call themselves the New Avengers.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's the Avengers
With a Z.
Totally okay.
Yeah.
Totally copyright free.
As soon as you said that, I'm just like, I know exactly who fucking said that.
And it says that right at the end of it goes, the New Avengers and Bob will return. But the post-credit scene as well, we get a sneak peek of the...
Was ruined for me in the credits
Yeah, okay.
because it unveils, like, you know how it unveils all the songs that are in there? Well, there was a clear song there that wasn't definitely in the movie.
Yeah, okay.
It says the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. So I knew that was coming through because it's also the longest one they've done.
Yep.
It's like 2 minutes.
And it's directed by the Wachowski,
the Russo brothers.
So the
brothers.
Russo brothers, they've directed it, but they also filmed it on the set of
Doomsday.
Doomsday.
Half of my news and rumors gone.
Yeah. So that was where it was all done. So I found out about that like about 3 minutes after the movie was released. I'm like, oh yeah, trying to avoid social media and shit. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. So the end credit goes for like 2 minutes and
It's
20
not
or
big,
something
it's just
like
them
that.
kind of talking and joking
It's
around
a
a
bunch
bit.
of it. It's like, them shit talking about Sam Wilson, the Avengers and stuff like that. And then it's just, there's something coming and satellite gives them the image. And it's
The actual post-credit tease part is the length of a normal post-credit scene.
Okay.
It's just like, something's coming, boom, boom, computer, what is it? And you see a portal open and then the Fantastic Four shit comes through.
Right. Okay.
And that's the scene. And then,
Okay, so
then it says Avengers will return. Boom.
Yeah, right. So it is just literally setting up the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's teasing that the Fantastic Four will be in the MCU
That
world.
was always going to happen.
I know.
yeah.
So it's kind of like,
It was a cool tease, but it wasn't a unexpected tease. It was like, all right, that just makes sense.
So here'll be a good one. If at the end of Fantastic Four, the post-credit scene is them going through the portal, so they go through from this, just doing it from the other side.
and like on Fantastic Four, the trailer played beforehand, which was it's going to be fucking amazing. And it's the newest trailer as well, where you see Galactus's foot and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched that one yet, actually.
I hadn't until then.
And just every time I hear that theme song, Fantastic Four, I'm like, that's fucking pimp, man. Whoever did that deserves a pay rise. It's so good. But yeah, no, Thunderbolts, fucking fantastic, man.
Yep.
It was a fantastic film. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Highly recommend seeing it in the movies.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to try get there.
And again, like it's not one
Hopefully
that
before next week.
As you said, like the end fight wasn't this over the top, like superhero like moveset. It was just, and the whole movie, it was just an everyday movie that followed through. It hit the right moments at the right time.
Well, none of them besides Ghost have powers.
And even
You
her,
got-
like even her power, really,
US agents got the...
Well, you got three of them with super serum.
Yeah.
You got Winter Soldier, US Agent,
Yeah.
and
Bob,
what's the dad's name?
David Harbour, Red Guardian.
Red Guardian. They're all got super serum.
Yeah.
And then you've got Yelena, who's just a Yelena.
Yeah.
And then Ghost
she
can
is
walk through
really-
walls.
But Ghost really doesn't use her powers all that much. She uses it once in the incinerator room, really, and other than that, it's
Okay.
very limited use of the powers.
I hope that they, like on the note of not having a big, like, as you said, the superhero battle and whatnot, hopefully they sort of continue that thread over the next few movies because, like, and they learn to build to that big soup.
They kind of did it with Brave New was it Brave New World, the Captain America one. Yeah, like again, that wasn't really over the top. Besides the Hulk scene at the end,
The more I think
But
about
even
that
then-
movie, the more I don't like it.
It's funny because that movie, like you look at that movie compared to this one, like
And
Brave
it's-
New World and Thunderbolts. Brave New World was so CGI heavy. Look, I mean, he flies a lot, fair enough. But then you look at Thunderbolts and it was just, even though it didn't feel like it was.
But also, like, you have a look at the Brave New World, and when we were talking about it, there are some bits that are just so obviously CGI shit compared to some of the flying scenes that you had where, I mean, that scene out in the
when they're
ocean
out
and whatnot.
the Tiamat.
It just, with Tiamat, it's just seamless and it is incredible. But then you go and have a look at the green screen that's behind the leader towards the end, and he looks like a fucking green pumpkin up against a green backdrop. Like, it looks shit. Anywho,
Yeah, that's fair
sidetrack.
enough.
But I'm trying to find the thing I had, but I can't find it at the moment. But basically, I think Marvel come out and sort of said they're trying to streamline and go quality over quantity with their future products. Because I think of a lot of the sort of backlash they've got for some subpar films and TV shows.
Yeah,
So
that's why they canned a couple of things, and we've spoken about some of the things that they have sort of canned over the course of the last 12 months, and they redid their schedule and whatever.
yeah, and then they're also talking about introducing more standalone films and TV shows that you don't need to watch 6 other movies and TV shows to actually understand the plot for the new viewers.
They need to do that. Because, I mean, I was thinking about this during the week. Like, what is going to happen next for MCU? Because you got Secret War, that's going to reset it, right? Which is fine. Reset, clean slate, go nuts. But, I mean, unless they start to recast some of these people and actually go down the route of not having a continuous timeline, so to speak, they're going to just reset the timeline, do the same thing. Reset the timeline, do the same thing. And if they keep doing that, I mean, it is going to fall flat. So it's going to be interesting what they do after Secret Wars and how the MCU continues to give us the content. Like, it might be far more of these single one-shot type things, which are within the world of the MCU, and move away from having that continuous timeline. Because, I mean, if you wanted to talk solely on continuous timeline and not having the Secret Wars reset, I mean, Captain America is now, like, Steve Rogers, he's gone. We've now got Sam Wilson. What happens when he gets fucking towards the end of his time and moves on? Like, I mean, there's no one stepping through for the next Captain America, so to speak, or at least from a comic perspective. So what do? Like, you have to start looking
Don't
at the
have Captain America.
Well, that's what I mean. But you can't not have Captain
Yes, you
America.
can. He's a shit character.
No,
Okay, but I'm using Captain America as the example, like, because you've got all the other characters as well, where similar things are going to occur. And for those watching at home, will know why we just chuckled.
But I get what you're talking about but at the same time, I guess their move point is to move away from the mainstream ones and bring in some of the lesser known ones that haven't been in it yet to create. But I do, again, I think X-Men is going to be a big focus moving forward because they haven't really been in the MCU. They can recast, even though I know they're bringing back some of the older characters at points.
That's just for Secret Wars.
Yeah.
But it's, moving forward from there, like, you can recast it and do what you want there, and that can... The MCU can focus on them more so and move away from Iron Man, Thor, and those sorts of ones we've been established with at the moment. So
yeah, exactly.
All right, let us move on. What have we got next, lads?
Over to you, Zach. This was your idea.
Well,
I like
talk
it.
about a TV
Let's do
show
it.
first. I watched season 1 of Reacher.
Yep.
Oh,
Before
look
we
at
get to
you go. Look at you go.
So watch season 1 of Reacher. Episode 1 fucking hits. the few fight scenes we got between the fight scene in the jail and then him walking out of the cop station and going like full Sherlock Holmes and this is this, and because you jiggle like this, you've quit smoking and this, like, that was fantastic. But yeah, like there was a few big twists in it. I'm going to spoil because it's season 1's been out for a few
there's no
years
such
now.
thing as a spoiler for that one.
Yeah, didn't expect. I thought the head of the company, Klein, I thought he was going to be the bad guy. Wasn't expecting the twist to be the son. But then, like, an episode after that, I was like, oh no, it has to be the son.
I can't remember it.
I watched it not that long ago. So I
season
can
one,
I watched it when it came out.
Season 1, he rocks up in this town looking for information.
That's right.
Guy.
The blues guy.
Turns out his brother was there and his brother got killed without him knowing.
That's right.
And then there's the conspiracy of this business that moved into town. Everyone loves it because he gives out all the money. But actually, he's a counterfeiting operation and things like that. So
I thoroughly enjoyed the part where he locks the guy in the boot and kills him.
Oh, and then the leg, like, there's 3 of them trying to fit in there. He's like, does it fit? He's like, leg, other leg.
You kind of forget,
And then
like,
he bangs the chick.
there's just a couple of moments in it where you kind of forget that it's like that and has those gory details. It's sort of just, it looks just whatever TV that you would put on. Like it looks like a 7:30 night primetime show that you're watching along. Then, that's right. This isn't one of those.
That's right.
After episode 1, the fights in jail where he drills his thumb through someone's eye, I'm like, this is going to be fucking intense.
Yep.
And then it sort of dipped away and then
you
came
forget
back
about
at
it.
moments. And yeah, like it was, I think, at times just a gorier, as I said, cop detective show and things. I think the pacing got a little off towards the end. I think it could have they could have shortened it down by maybe an episode or two, perhaps. But at the same time, I liked the world building. I liked that it wasn't overly rushed, and we just went from fight scene to fight scene to fight scene. Like there was thinking about it and actually thought through the problem logically, and those sorts of things, which was pretty cool. So, taking your advice, I've stopped now. I'm going to do a palate cleanser, which is Free Ren Journey's End, which is a change of pace anime for me in particular. Normally watching all the big shonen and superpower things. This is effectively old love who's an elf wizard and like on a D&D group going around, finish this mission right at the start of the season, and then 50 years later she comes back like nothing's happened and her party's all like decrepit and dying and things like that. So it's her like it's going along like an emotional journey of like, oh, like I actually need to appreciate this because like humans take the small things for granted because waiting a year for something to happen is nothing to her, but waiting 10 years is nothing for her, but for the humans that's like, oh fuck, like that's a long time to sit here and do nothing sort of thing. So there's a few moments of like good action and things, but other than that, like it's just a good like sit down and enjoy sort of show so far. So.
Before we get any further, Thunderbolts packs
9.
9? Yeah, I'm a 9 as well.
You're looking at me like I'm going to give you an answer. I haven't seen it yet, remember?
really, the only thing missing is probably just a sort of a bigger name character I had a bit more attachment to.
Sure.
But
not so much for the movie, more for your personal
But the movie was fantastic. Like I walked in, I said not knowing much other than effectively it was the Suicide Squad, but Marvel's version. And thoroughly enjoyed it. I said it hit every metric you sort of want from a superhero movie, it hit.
Yeah, and Pax Reacher?
8.
Nice.
But no, we'll come back to Reacher season 2 and season 3 when you get round to it. But no, as you said, I think I would have enjoyed season 2 and 3 more.
I kind of got what you're talking about because it's very much I'm assuming season 2 will be him in a new surrounding. Something goes wrong and he ends up being the detective that sort of finds
season 3. Season 3 is pretty different to season 1.
Season
2, sorry.
Yeah, season 3 is probably the most different. Yeah. But again, just the palate cleanser really works. Something I actually finally got to watching a little bit of. God! You recommended Dororo,
yeah,
a little while ago. I started it.
Yeah.
I haven't got very far in it, but I've started it. I think I'm about 6 episodes in.
Yeah.
I hate when shows give you the name of the show's called Dororo and that's the main character and you don't expect who it is because I didn't you sort of get the intro around this particular person, entity, whatever you want to call it, that develops over time, and I figured, all right, so that's Dororo. And then comes through and someone goes, oh, hey, Dororo comes through, and it's like this little kid, Pipsqueak comes through, and you're just like, well, that fucking threw me.
Yeah, it threw me too.
And because it threw me, I struggled to watch the next couple of episodes. I'm like, that's not Dororo. The other guy is. The other guy needs to be the main character. But I'm sure that I'll get back into it once I'm over that. No, I mean, it's okay.
I have been watching, just mainly because it just came out, season 2 of The Devil's Plan on Netflix.
Yeah.
Have either of you watched this?
No, I haven't heard of it.
I am trying to think if I've watched season 1. I think I have.
Korean game show?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I started it. This is the what is it? It's actually a game show type thing. Yeah, I watched that. It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, season 2's just come out, the first 4 episodes.
Nice.
It's actually got the Korean actor from Umbrella Academy, the one that plays Ben.
Yeah, sweet.
He's in it. It is fantastic, man.
Yeah,
so if you people at home have never watched The Devil's Plan, basically they get, I think for season 1 was 12 people in this house. It's all dubbed, so you don't have to worry about subtitles or anything like that. And essentially they each get a puzzle piece and that's like their life.
Is it anime or real?
Oh, it's real.
And then
it is an actual game show.
They get put into this room where they have to play games. And like these games are so fucking well thought out. It's ridiculous. And like the games are all designed to be, you guys could win if you helped each other and like it'd be super, but the way they're designed is deliberately made so that people are like, we're going to team up.
Yeah.
And we're going to screw over these other people and stuff. And it's just, and then like when they're out, not actually playing the games, when they're in the little room, in their rooms and stuff, and like the people who come last in the main game get put in jail, and they have to spend the night in jail, and then they have to do like their own little game to see who gets eliminated.
Yeah.
And in the jail cells and the main rooms and stuff, there's also little games that are puzzles that are hidden throughout the room where they can get more things. But some of the things are like, if you do this and you succeed, you'll get really good, like heaps of puzzle pieces.
But if you fail,
you're just gone.
Yeah.
No matter how many puzzle pieces you got, you're just out, kind of thing. And just, some of the games are so in depth that I found myself watching and going, wait, what do they have to do? And you go back to the rules explanation. Some of the rule explanations are like 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
And you just go back to them and you're like, well, okay, they're doing that rule. But yeah, no. So season 1, amazing. Season 2 so far has been so good.
Yeah.
The first game they play is fucking awesome. It's like this weird thing where there's 14 people. 2 of the people are robbers. And so it's kind of like the Dracula board game where they've got a map of the Korean subway, and the robbers are secretly moving from different locations. And then there's 3 teams of cops, and each of teams of 4, and each person has to move one. They can move. They get 2 actions. They can move one space and investigate for a clue, or they can move and just arrest. And their job is to try and arrest the robbers. But the robber's job is to try and move around the board and get 12 puzzle pieces. And they know where the puzzle pieces are, the cops don't. But then there's 2 cops that are crooked and know where the robbers are. And so it's just this fucking fun game of like the teams are like, oh no, like one of you is a fucking crooked cop kind of thing. It's just, it's so good.
So from memory, they did something very similar in Devil's Plan season 1, where they had each person was given a character to play during the game.
It's like they did like a version of Mafia.
Yeah. And so each person had a character. They had to work out whoever the bad person was within that thing. And if they took a guess, they were out, get it right, get more puzzle pieces again to collect. But no, it's really, really cool concept. The games are awesome, as you said. I didn't realize season 2 was coming out.
Only the first 4 episodes are out.
Still.
See, I'm just watching Taskmaster.
Oh, dude, like Taskmaster, I love Taskmaster. Don't get me wrong, Taskmaster. I watch. That's my go-to for YouTube when I'm just painting or something like. You just put Taskmaster on and just fucking smash through the episode.
Lisa, I like to try and work out the loopholes to those tasks now. Like, can we just slide in this? Do you know who's in the current English season? I'm going to get his name wrong.
Oh, yeah, it's the dude, the American guy.
He was played Ray, was it Ray? No, Rexplode in Invincible. That voice actor.
Rexplode, and he's also
in
in
Brooklyn Nine-Nine and
all
things
that
like
kind
that
of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy, he always talks like
Yeah.
that guy, he's in it.
He's in it. So I'm looking forward to it. Lisa's like, do we watch it now or do we wait till the whole season's out? I'm like, I think we're waiting till the whole season's out.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I mean, I've rewatched every season of that show
I
many
can go down a rabbit
times.
hole on like Facebook clips of just watching like best
The
bits
best
of
bits
it.
of,
Stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
like it's fantastic.
All right, what are we actually doing?
All right, so we've talked about a few different concepts lately, and here was one that I thought was a bit interesting for us to use our imagination for. So it's another Pokemon one, but this time we are going to be fusing Pokemon from the original 151 to create our own unique Pokemon. So not an evolution or things like that, just like take 2 and smush together, think Goku, Vegeta, that sort of stuff.
Gogeta. All right, who would like to go for how many are we doing?
I have a few. I thought we were going to do one, but I just had a lot of fun, so I came up with a few. So
Okay, well, who wants to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
All right, so I'll start with my main one first. So my first one I came up with, the name is Magnix, if you can figure out who that is.
Magnemite and
Vulpix.
Vulpix, yeah.
No, Magma and Onyx.
Okay.
Yep.
So type would be fire and rock. So effectively it would be Onyx massive body, but instead of being straight rock, effectively it's volcanic sort of slag and stuff like that.
I can envision that straight away.
And effectively the fusion would happen, obviously Onyx burying underground, comes across a magma that's down in the magma. And
they make sweet, sweet love.
So Onyx's body, but Magma's sort of shaped head with a flaming horn or crest. I couldn't quite figure it out. But yeah, so effectively lava dripping everywhere, things like leaving scorched trails everywhere because obviously it's just a giant magma snake.
Naturally.
And yeah, just I thought it would be cool. It sounded interesting. I always thought Onyx was kind of an interesting character at the time. That even his evolution Steelix, I think, was a bit boring. So giving him a bit of life and excitement was my goal there.
Okay, my first one, and this is fantastic. And I want you to pick who it's going to be. It's going to be pretty easy. It's Mew, dude.
So the question was, it Mew or Mewtwo?
It's Mew,
Yeah.
Geodude.
made out of rock with giant Geodude arms.
Yeah.
All the powers of Mew.
But with arms.
But with arms that can punch made out of rocks. It'd be like, it could do like rock psionic punches and stuff.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But it'd be small because it's like the size, Mew's like the size of a cat. So it's like this tiny little thing with these giant fucking fists that are the size of it.
Mew just didn't skip arm day.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Yeah, pretty much. That's mine. Mew, dude. I mainly did it because of the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His next one's going to be like Chardude. It's going to be Charizard cross with Geodude.
What do you got?
Well, on that note, mine was across, and I didn't think to come up with fucking names for him, so you can help me out with names. But it was Charizard and Scyther.
Sizard.
Yeah, Sizard, something like that, yeah.
So basically, you've still got that big dragon-like form, but rather than having his little fucking T-Rex arms, he's got straight up got the Scyther claws coming out. So he goes from being bipedal down to all fours. He's slimming up more to get far more into that slender dragon type appearance. And basically, those swords are naturally on fire out the front of him. So I went it nice and simple and like that. So it's Charizard, far more slimmer, the Scyther's claws coming out the front. Away he fucking goes.
I like it.
I started thinking about like giving them abilities and stuff, but I just couldn't be fucked.
No, that's way too much. That's way too much. What's another one?
The next one I had was I had a lot of fun with this one. Venadrill.
Okay.
Venadrill.
Venusaur and Beedrill.
Yeah. So Venusaur's body, but a little slimmer and a little bit more agile, and covered in like bark-like chunks. Hive-like chunks all over its body, effectively like armor, and a few thorny vines. But the flower is replaced with a giant beehive.
Oh, that's sick.
And then it's got two huge Beedrill style stingers protruding from its shoulders or its forearms. I also thought like it's instead of having like vine whips, it would have like giant sort of like bee stingers. It's like sort of lashing around. And yeah, just commands fucking Beedrills and fucking bees all around it. It's just the mother of all queen fucking bees.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be pimp. That'd be pimp. My next one is Bulbahawk.
Oh, no. What's the hawk? I want to say Marowak, but that's
Marowak,
whack.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm calling him Hawk.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah.
So it's Bulbasaur and Marowak mixed together, and I imagine it as he's like, instead of being the massive tank tortoise thing he is, he's like a lot more slimmer and taller, but he's like full warrior with like the skull of another Bulbasaur over his head. And like he's holding just giant ass fucking massive caveman style bone clubs.
Yep.
That like essentially are like fire hoses.
Yep.
So he can beat the shit out of people with them, but then he can also like just fire hose people as well as like his jets on his back and shit.
Bulbasaur or Blastoise?
Blastoise, that's the one I'm thinking. Yeah, Blastoise.
Because I'm going, where did Bulbasaur have fucking water?
Yeah, Blastoise,
Yeah,
that's the one I'm thinking. Yeah. There you go.
Next one, just because I thought it would be funny. Mr. Electabuzz.
Mine's similar for the next one.
Purely, it's just Electabuzz with fucking Mr. Mime's outfit on because I thought that would be funny.
That's it. He doesn't have Mr. Mime's powers. He's just dressed as Mr. Mime.
He's got Mr. Mime's powers, but they're that cooked that when he makes the walls, it's just an electric wall. So it's like a dullard of both mixed together where he's trying to work out both of them, but just they haven't quite worked each other out.
I like it.
So my next was on the same path, but I've kind of redesigned Hypno for this, but it's Mr. Nap.
Okay.
So it's Mr. Mime fusing with Snorlax. So Snorlax obviously comes down in size, Mr. Mime sort of coming up, so something in between the two. But effectively he's Mr. Mime, but obviously very dreamy and like slow and lethargic. But obviously entraps people with his lethargic movements, putting them to sleep and causing mayhem that way.
All right, my last one. This is my last one because this is as far as I got. It is Garagar.
Garagar. So
Yeah.
Gyarados
and Gengar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically just a ghost Gyarados. Just a giant fucking purple Gyarados that can fly through the air and fuck people up with poison.
Yep.
Instead of Hydro Blast, he uses like a poison blast.
Okay. You kind of
You've rained on his parade here.
a little bit, but I've got another
Is it
one that
Mr.
I'll go.
Mime and Gyarados?
Mr. Gyarados.
Mr. Gyarados?
Mr. Dus.
Mr. Gyarados dude.
No, I thought about mixing
Gyarados with Geodude arms.
Fucking Jesus. I thought about trying to go like down the creepy route of having Gengar, but more of that muck form. So literally like
So I mentioned this
I
at
thought
school,
that'd be
and
pretty
one
cool.
of my mates who's into it there said like, Muck and Gengar I think
Yeah.
would be cool. Yeah.
But then, seeing as you took Gengar, I'm going to go Muck and one of the legendary birds. I think it would be sick to have
like
Muck
a poison
and
bird.
Muck and
Moltres.
Moltres.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fucking
like a
awesome. Just
poison bird.
dripping poison. Just change that red to like a full black. All the flame wings is actually like just that ooze
Corrupted
and whatnot.
fire.
Yeah, it'd be
And as
so
it
fucking
flies,
cool.
as
It's
it flies, it just drops poisoning. Yeah.
I reckon that'd be sick.
I like that.
I think
Yeah.
that's the winner right there. Yeah. And it was off a whim.
Yeah, that'd be
yeah,
fucking cool. Because there's no poison legendaries, I don't think.
No, not that
No,
I'm aware
because
of.
usually legendaries are, or actually I fucking don't know with the new ones because there's gods and shit there, but usually they're always sort of elemental based and things like that.
Yeah, so typically it's your fire, your water, and
Your rock, usually positive attributes more so than your negative things that poison would attract.
Yeah, but like nowadays, as you said, you get into the more ethereal things and you get like
There's
psychic, and
God-
I think there's a couple
Gods
ghosts,
of, gods of
something,
time
yeah,
and all space and stuff. I don't know.
yeah.
Just leave me with the 151 and I'm happy.
Yeah,
Speaking of Pokemon, there's the new set came out in Pokemon Pocket like a week ago.
Oh yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned it last week. But
And there is a fucking card that is irritating the living fuck out of me. I can't remember what it's called. It's a fucking lightning
do?
card.
Yeah.
It's a bird. It's a basic Pokemon. It has
Oricoro.
it has 50 health or something like 60 health.
80 health.
It does 50 damage for like one fucking energy, and EX Pokemon can't hurt it. So if you have any EX Pokemon, it just cannot hurt it. So it is. And I was playing the lightning deck in the expert solo play, and like you just like fucking it's there, and then all of a sudden like you're trying to find it. It's like, I know I've got an EX, I can't fucking do anything.
Yeah.
And then it does 50 damage. Oh, it's killed your fucking EX in 2 turns.
Yep. So there was, I think I was playing because one of the tasks for that is you've got to do it with a water type deck so that you can do. So I had Articuno out.
Yeah.
EX Articuno, and it does 80 to the primary and then 10 to the ones on the bench. I'm like, that's all good. I can fuck him up that way. Even like the other damage that you do to the bench
splash
Pokemon,
damage.
even that wasn't hitting him.
Oh, fuck me.
So I'm like, oh shit. And the fucking bloke had 2 of them out, and I'm like, oh, fuck, this is going to take a while.
That's fucked.
But there's
It's so broken.
there is, I think there's 4 versions of that Pokemon because there's the electric. I think there's a water, a psychic, and another
okay.
one. So they've got the 4 different,
just
4 different types.
Look out for them because it's more fun for
And
you.
there's another one, I can't remember what it is. It's a psychic one. It came out last set, but it's 130 health, 4 energy attack, does 130 damage, which is pretty much most EXs.
I think is that the Palkia one?
the Gyarados thing. It's like a big thing with like a rib cage thing.
Yeah, okay.
It starts with G.
Giratina.
Yeah, but its ability is add a psychic energy to this card and then end the turn.
Yeah.
So literally in 2 turns, it has 4 energy on it.
Yeah.
And then it just decimates.
Yeah.
And you can't stop it.
And it can do it from the bench.
Yeah. It's fucking a joke.
One of the new ones is actually pretty pimp. The Rayquaza that they brought out with what do they call him? The event or whatever. So he basically does the same attack, the Meteor Clash or Dragon Meteor or whatever, with 4 energies.
He's like the giant green dragon, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
But I think you can also get. I don't know if you can get the shiny one in this yet, but I'm sure that'll come out soon. But
I hate shinies
He's-
as a concept.
got the 4 things, but it's all colorless. Whereas Dragonite,
Okay, yep.
because the Dragonite he needs like a water, an electric,
Yeah.
and then a fighting and colorless. So he needs 3 different types, but this one's just 4 of whatever, and away he goes. So that's he's a pretty handy card to have, because there's also another sneaky little card where you play and you attack, and you can just attach energy to him. So he can get on a bit of a run sometimes.
Nice.
One last thing on Pokemon before we move on. There's I can't remember the account's name. I'll find it and bring it next week. But yeah, effectively, he's going around and just his whole shtick at the moment is coming up with different Pokemon. So people will nominate something and he'll go through the process.
On YouTube?
Yeah,
I see
on
YouTube,
on
because he's
Facebook.
done the Australian.
He's like Pokedex or something.
Yeah, he did the Australian
That was pretty
evolution one, which was really good, like the dingo and
The Platypus one. But
the
yeah,
dingo,
yeah.
platypus, and a kangaroo. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, so this one effectively, like he spins the wheel to see like, are you a regular, a mythical, a starter stuff? What are your 2 types? How many evolutions do you get? And that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's pretty interesting
Yeah,
what he comes up with.
I've seen. I don't think that's the same guy.
I don't think it's the same guy, but it's the same concept.
Yeah, I've seen him as well.
But I think that could be something we do for a future show, is actually like bring a few different content creators that we enjoy watching in the nerd space and discuss them.
Yeah, sounds good. And then we can do that same thing, but with Digimon.
Cool.
All right. What
Zach
else?
and I are going to struggle with that.
No,
one.
again, I could do the original series really well. After that, I'd struggle.
Yeah, the evolutions get a bit out of hand because they all have multiple, especially when they got to the armor one with eggs, the eggs that turn into the armors. So Vmon turned into I think he had 4 different eggs
But
that he could
even in
attach with
the
different
even
armors
in the
and
first
stuff.
series, you had like Agumon went to like 1 to Greymon to like War Greymon, Metal Greymon, Skull Greymon. Like even at the very start, there was like 5 evolutions.
And then
for
he
it.
fused with the
Garurumon.
wolf with
Yeah.
Garurumon, and turned into the fucking Ultra Nightmon thing in the movie.
So maybe Zach will be
Fuck, that movie
alright.
was
I'll
good.
struggle.
Literally those. So I can picture all of
Devimon, Angimon.
Yeah, I can picture the other ones, but I can't. Like, there was the bird that turned into effectively a phoenix, the little pink bird
Yep.
that turned into a phoenix. There was the like insect one that turned into a bigger fucking insect.
Yep.
There was the plant that turned into a giant cactus.
Yep.
The sloth-looking thing that turned into a walrus. Ikakumon.
Yeah. I don't
That
know.
one.
I can't remember his name. But yes.
And then there was the chode thing that turned into Angemon.
Yeah, the chode thing. The chode thing turned into what was the male's name?
No, it was Angemon.
No,
and then it was Angewoman,
Oh, it was Angimon and Angimon. Oh, yeah, it was
Yeah.
too. That's right. Yeah,
because Angewoman was in the second
that
one.
was the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great show.
I haven't watched it.
Oh, it's
Very
so much
fucking
better than
long time.
Pokemon. So much better than Pokemon.
All about timing.
Yeah. What else we got, ladies and gentlemen?
We didn't really have too much, to be honest. But I mean, we played some board games the other week that we forgot to talk about.
Did we? What did we play?
We played board
Dungeon
games.
Cart.
We did play Dungeon Cart, and that game is so well built.
So Dungeon Kart, for those that haven't been paying attention, it's effectively Mario Kart but on a board game. It's fucking fun.
It's really fun. I loved the very simple mechanics that are overlaid with some other complexities to it to make it like that bit more interactive, bit more fun, and bit more of a challenge to sort of knock other people and overtake and bump them out the way and that sort of stuff. So very cool that way. I love the fact that it gives you shortcuts.
Yep.
That the shortcuts are there, but like there's potential for penalty in like when you're going through them. I won, so I was happy with that. Only just, but also the way that it sort of all happened at the end. Like we were all neck and neck the whole way through, which I thought was awesome.
Which is funny because I was so far back at the
Yeah,
start.
exactly. And I thought that was great. Like the mechanics allow for that. But then it was almost like, you know how you get in NASCAR, the slingshots and whatnot? It was like that with me getting the slingshot around the outside and just fucking whoosh down that
You're
straight.
welcome.
Because I was literally
Yes.
one space off winning. If I was one space closer,
Yeah, that's right.
that would have given me on that first
he would've
turn.
won the turn
I would have
before we
gone.
won, yeah.
I would have gone over.
But yeah, so like I like the mechanics because I said AJ fell quite far behind at one point, but because he was then by himself, he didn't have to worry about Brock or I in the way and could pick the path that he wanted. But I enjoy how the speed mechanic of it, that you can go as flat out as you want, but that's usually a downside 9 times out of 10 because then you can't turn because you have to go the certain amount of spaces that your speed is dictated by. And yeah, I think it's quite good. And I enjoy the fact that even if you play the same character next time, you might get a different cart, which will have different traits. That means you'll have to play differently and things. So, from the characters to that, and even the abilities of the cards that. It's like Mario Kart. If you're first, you're basically going to get fuck all. If you're last, you're going to get something cool and things like that. So that's always good fun.
And one thing I will say is that I think we played 4, maybe 5 games on the night. So yeah, you did. You got fucking salty after I beat you at dungeon card.
Dungeon cards went down, man.
Yeah, so I won that one. So
I'm usually the one getting fucked on in all these games, and for once it didn't. So I was like, yes.
And you got very salty, and you fucking came after me all fucking night.
Because what do we play next? We play.
So we played.
It was
We
a card game.
So we played the Camel Shop game first.
That was good fun, actually.
Oh, that's right. Camel Up off season.
Yeah, that was. As I said, it looked very
I was
out there.
very surprised by how much I enjoyed that game. Yeah.
I was worried. It was one of those games where it feels very rule heavy because when you're reading through the rules, I'm just kind of like, oh,
That's right, because none of us had played it, and it was because it was brand new in the box.
We're literally putting pieces together for it.
And the rules, like, just you started reading and then you kept reading and kept reading. I'm like, fucking hell, like, what? And then you play through.
Well, we had one turn and we're like, this is fucking easy.
It's so easy. Like, it's literally just basically resource gathering, selling your resources, and continuing to do that so that you can buy and sell and get points
each
or money.
Person's got 4 camels, I think, and each camel can hold a different amount before they
One
collapse.
can hold 6 items, one can hold 5, 4, 3.
And effectively you can only put the same resource on each camel, so you can't mix your fruit and your dates together. They've got to be separated. And then you got to choose what one you want to sell and hope you don't get fucked over next turn when you choose your resource stack again.
It was thoroughly enjoyable. And I mean, I got it for $15 from not Casey's Toys. What's the other one?
Toy World.
No,
The
not
one at
Toys.
Katara.
Yeah,
Toy Mate?
Toy Mate. That's
Toy
it.
Mate.
It was $15 at Toy Mate. Fucking bargain. And
beauty.
I'll play it again easily because it was
definitely.
very quick to play.
We then went on to play a big game, which we then gave up on because the time
That's right,
it was getting late.
Yep.
We played the deck builder with the Japanese nurses.
So
Dynamite Nurse?
Dynamite Nurse.
That was lots of fun.
Zach got very cranky in that game.
We all got very cranky in that game.
So basically,
we're all out for each other's blood in that
So
one.
Dynamite Nurse is from a company called Japanime Games, and they take games from Japan and translate them and release them in English countries. So it's one of those deck builders from over there, and I love their deck builders. The way their deck builders work are fantastic to play. The only issue is for a lot of people will never play them because they are very waifu. So like they're very
fan service.
cutesy female fan service. Dynamite Nurse not so much, as opposed to like something like Tanakoro, which is my favorite deck builder, but it's very hard to play in public because it's maids. Use your imagination. But no, Dynamite Nurse is great. It's essentially you play as a hospital and dungeon people have been going into the dungeon and they're coming out injured. And on your turn, you're either you're doing your normal deck builder things like buying cards, kind of thing. And you can also assign the people coming out of the dungeon to yourself or to the other players, and you put their little token on it. And when it fills up, they go to critical. And if they have to go critical again, they die, and you get death cards. And you become the Dynamite Nurse, which is more points. Very fun little deck builder. But it doesn't get to the table much because it's a 3-player minimum.
My
was
only
gonna
issue
ask
with
that.
it was there was a lot of cards in the middle to buy that I think we really only used probably half of them.
It's most Japanese deck builders are also like Dominion, which is what a lot of them are based on, which was the first deck builder. All their cards are out, so you can buy any card. There's no,
It's not luck of the draw.
So you kind of need to start to know which, and when you've never played it before, you don't really know. So by the end, you're like, I should have bought that card. I should have bought that card, and this and that. And,
I think I ended up winning that once, which I thought I was going to lose because I had all the dead people because I just
you
kept
got
getting
some fucking
railroaded.
heavy points though with the nurse cards.
Yeah, I got lucky with some of those ones which sort of chain reacted, so that was good. But there's another person in critical. I guess that's going to Zach.
We did fuck him over a lot.
Because I ended up with the Dynamite Nurse, which is like a -6 points straight away. So
And it was funny because you got her pretty much straight away. And
I
then,
never lost her.
And then after like 3 turns, you look down, you're like, oh, fuck, she's not going, is she?
No, and then we played a DC deck builder game.
Oh, yep.
We played the Dark Justice League deck builder.
And again, I got fucking lucky because I got the card at the start, which basically boosted me to the top, and
Yeah.
I coasted the whole way through.
That's probably the worst. My points ended up being better than I expected in the end of that one because I just couldn't get a good draw, and I ended up not doing great in it. But my points ended up being okay.
If you've played any DC deck builder, essentially it's the same DC deck builder by Cryptozoic. So Cryptozoic Engine, there's amazing Adventure Time, Street Fighter, Lord of the Rings, heaps of them. But this is the Dark Justice League version. It was not the most recent Kickstarter. It was the one before that.
And one thing I'll quickly jump in that they released during that as well was their first rival set with DC.
No, it's the third rival set.
Oh, third
This
rival
is
set.
their third rival set.
Well, it's the first rival set I've played, and that mechanic alone as just a head-to-head type thing is really, really cool. So if you can pick up one of the rival...
So the first one is Batman v Joker.
Yep.
The second one is Green Lantern versus Sinestro. And the
Okay.
third one is Shazam versus Black Adam.
Sure. Highly recommend if you can pick them up, give them a go because
And you can mix and match them too.
That makes sense.
So this one, the new mechanic is transform. So I think essentially this one's heavy with Shazam and the Shazam family and stuff. So basically you can have Billy Batson as a card, and then you can do whatever it says on the card and then transform it into Shazam. Same with like Raven, you can turn her into Dark Raven, stuff like that.
Yeah, that concept I just didn't fully understand, so I just stayed away from transforming throughout that game.
But there's that, and then there's like sealing, which is essentially you take a card and just go straight to your victory pile instead of it staying in your deck.
That's how I ended up winning because one of my cards was like seal all these different things, and that's what worked for me. So,
But it's probably my favorite of the DCs. That one and Twisted Metal.
we played
two of my
that
favorites.
one on tabletop.
Yeah, and the new one should be here soon, and that's Arkham Asylum. And I think that's instantly going to become my favorite because Harley Quinn.
And then so AJ and I also played Splendor Duel. We've played that a few times, and that's a very fun, quick game. I'm actually starting to understand how to play it properly, so it's good. And then we played Civilization Duel.
No, Seven Wonders.
Seven Wonders.
Seven Wonders.
Hey, that's a good one too.
That was ended up being very close between AJ and I. I think he won, and if he didn't win that turn, I was winning on the next turn. So that was quite good.
So I actually played with Brendan the Seven Wonders Duel Lord of the Rings edition.
Oh yeah.
Didn't like it.
Oh really?
Yeah, no, it's basically the same game except there's like a little map, and essentially the fellowship's moving along, and you got to try and like take over regions, kind of thing. Yeah. And it just ruined the game for me. It just wasn't as fun as like just the OG Duel where you're just playing. Even the expansion for Duel, which is what we played with it. It's okay.
Yeah, the expansion
but it takes away from it, in my opinion.
The expansion part, I think, it's just extra stuff you don't need.
Yep.
Like we never really went down that route. We just focused on the normal things anyway. So,
look, sometimes that licensing sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't.
Like one of my favorite licensed games ever, which you can't get anymore, and if you can get it, it costs you a lot of money, is Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
It is taken the theme of the show.
We played a few. I think I know what one you're talking about. I just can't remember the name.
So it's taken the theme of the show and just so well implemented it into the game. So basically you start off as everyone gets given their hero card, so you play as a character from the show, and then you take a deck of cards and shuffle them up, and every player gets given one, and it either says you're good or you're a Cylon.
Yeah, this is the one I'm thinking of.
And so, but there's more cards in that than there are players. So you may not be, no one may be a Cylon. And then everyone has cards that can have effects on them, or they're like yellow, blue, green, red. And depending on your hero on your turn, you get X amount of each card. And then at the end of your turn, everyone has to put cards in to try and beat a gold card to potentially move along to get to Earth, right? But because all the cards going face down, the trader can be like, I'm just going to put in red ones, and there's no red ones needed for this kind of thing. So you put them in, and there's like everyone shuffling, you flip them over, and you're like, someone's a fucking traitor. And like the best part is, and the whole time you've got like Cylons around the outside trying to attack and get onto the Battlestar, destroy the Battlestar, and essentially Cylons want the humans to die. Humans want to get to Earth.
We died when I played it. We died bad.
One of my favorite mechanics in it is you can lock someone in jail. You can lock them in the brick, and they don't get to vote.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And because we played with Andy.
Yep.
And whenever we play with Andy, he just fucks me over. Just doesn't matter if it might fuck him over, but as long as I get fucked over,
Half the time he doesn't realize he's doing it. It's just him.
But yeah, it was like I spent this whole time going, please don't put me in jail. Please don't put me in jail. I'm going to be in jail here.
And
That
then,
is a pretty cool mechanic. Is like
and
if
then
you can work out who the traitor is, then it's.
but
sort of,
the glorious thing is, halfway through the game, everyone gets dealt a second card.
Yeah.
So you may have been human for the first half of the game, and then all of a sudden, now you're a Cylon.
Yeah. Okay.
You've just found out.
If you were silent at the start, can you come back to human? I can't remember.
No, you're a Cylon from the get-go. And essentially you can out yourself as well, and then you take over the Cylon players and stuff. But it's pretty hard to do that though.
Sure. Okay.
But it's a great game.
We'll have to
You can
give
get a
that one a
copy.
go.
Get a copy. Unfortunately, they go for about $400, and like I've got it and the 3 expansions, and last time I checked, it's about $1,500 worth of board game to buy for all of them. But they have re-released it, but as their Arkham, as Fantasy Flight's Arkham series.
Yeah, okay.
It's called Unfathomable now, and you're essentially on a ship, and you've got deep ones trying to get into the ship and stuff.
So it's the same
Same game,
gameplay,
but
but not. It doesn't.
I think there's a couple of different mechanics. They've taken some of the mechanics from the expansions, and like put them into the base game and stuff. I haven't played Unfathomable. I think Brendan's got it, so we may play it one time. But yeah,
I would say another licensed game that we've played. There's two different games. It's Game of Thrones. So one is that little flip one we played where it's like the pyramid one.
Yeah, the Crown one. That was really good.
That's
I can't remember.
nice, fast
Battle
game.
of the Crowns or something like that.
Yeah, it's like literally. I think you can play with 3 or 4 players,
Yeah.
and it's real quick. And the other one is
The actual Game of Thrones board game.
Yeah, that's really fun.
It is. It's a game where
I much prefer it real.
If you want to
life
fight
than
your friends,
tabletop.
fight your friends in that one. That's good. Like you start off as friends, by the end of the game, you fucking hate each other.
So play it later than earlier.
But yeah, it's
if you
good
want
fun.
to continue the night.
There's also a video game version of that, which is if you can't get together, it is a very good recreation of the board game.
Tabletop simulator.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
No, the actual proper
is
board
it
game.
proper?
Yeah, the proper digital version
Right.
of the game. We've played it before.
Okay.
Did we play it on that? Not
Yeah,
tabletop.
yeah, we did.
Right.
Yeah,
so
it was
I thought
just
it was
a normal
tabletop.
board game version, and it's a pretty good simulation version.
Yeah,
of
so
it.
it's a good recreation. I just think I prefer for that one in particular,
100%.
the real life one. It just has a better sense when we're there in person.
I've actually got the main game and the expansion with it introduces the dragons and all that kind of stuff to it.
I
And
haven't played the expansion with you yet.
I haven't played the expansion. I've had it for
Wow.
I've had it for 2.5 years, I think. I haven't played it.
Strap
And
yourselves in, guys. You
I've
know what's
actually
coming.
got the neoprene mat.
Yeah.
So it replaces the cardboard board, and it's like a beautiful, massive, like takes up nearly an entire table. It's gorgeous. Amy got it for me for my birthday. It's fucking fantastic. Just haven't played on it yet. It's just one of those games that you need 4, 5 players to play.
Sure.
We need to. We tried to do it the other week when we did this, but we only ended up being the 3 of us. But even then, we need to do it. Start at midday at the latest, really, so we can actually knock out some serious board games in there.
Yeah.
Because, as I said, the one you set up looked really interesting, but it was like
You have to set that one up.
it was like 11 o'clock at night by the time we got to that point, and it was like, I just want to play a game, not sit here for another hour.
Pretty much, yeah. And we're gonna try, and eventually, once we do get a chance to pull these big games out, we're gonna try and do like maybe a live stream or probably a live stream, I'd say, and then just chuck it up on YouTube after we've done the live stream. We want to try and do Twilight Imperium and probably a Game of Thrones one.
Twilight Imperium is such a fun game. I think it puts people off because it can go for like half a day.
Because I think it got third edition was the most successful, like the big one that made it the big game. And Dice Tower, which is a massive YouTube channel that kind of reviews board games, Tom Vassell, it was his number one because they do like top 100 games every year. It was his number one for like 10 years in a row. And I think that helped make it just fucking a mentally successful game. And third edition was a long game.
I'm just like talking about in our group of friends, like I said.
But that's what I'm saying. But then fourth edition came out, which is one I had third and I've got fourth as well. Fourth edition, they've slimmed the rules down so much more, and it's just so much more streamlined. And like you can knock out a game. Like we have 4 players, and we knocked out a game in 3 hours and a bit, something like that. And everyone's always worried, like it's going to take 8 hours because the old versions did.
Well, I think it took us about 5 hours when we played it, but that was probably only about 3 hours of game time because we stopped for lunch and drinks breaks and stuff throughout and stuff like that. So
gotta have snacks.
But yeah, it's such a fantastic game. It's just unfortunate. Yeah, our sort of local crew we get, it's quite a heavy game, and they're not very much into heavy games. So
But yeah, we will try and get a game. We'll chuck it on the live stream. So chuck in the comments if you would like to see a live stream of it. That'd be fantastic. Speaking of the YouTubes, did you know that 98.4% of people that watch us on YouTube aren't subscribed?
I'm not surprised by those numbers.
I
always thought
It's a weird one on YouTube because it's like you don't need to follow to see and that sort of stuff. Like it's one of those, it's a weird one.
Like you watch everything in like other videos and like, oh, all these people aren't subscribed. Like, I don't understand why, because if you're watching it, and maybe not religiously, and maybe you start to, and then you're like, oh, this is me. It doesn't take anything to subscribe. It's literally click a button and it's done. And then if you stop watching, it sort of falls away and it doesn't clog up your YouTube feed and things like that.
I think for me, like, I understand why people don't, because for me, like, I am subscribed to like 5 people.
To subscribe, don't say that.
We can cut that out.
No, we can't.
Shit. It's there now.
Why do you...
So on that note,
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. As Zach just said, costs you nothing. Just do it. Subscribe. It won't fuck up your algorithm. If you watch us anyway, we're in your algorithm. We're there. Subscribing doesn't hurt. All it does is help us.
Thank you.
You idiot.
Look, I'm good at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, I've been trying to tell everyone, like, the biggest step for us is to get a wide audience, is just to get our friends and family to like it. So keep liking, sharing, and subscribing, everyone.
Please do.
All right, I'll tell you what. Let's just end the episode there, eh?
I say
Cool.
All right.
Well, I think the only thing left is news and rumors, but
fuck
we
news
covered
and rumors. We covered
most of it in our Thunderbolts chat. So go see Thunderbolts. If you haven't, go see Thunderbolts.
I
will.
If there is anything you would like us to talk about on the show, or deep dive into, just chuck it in comments and we will try and get to it. We're always looking for ideas, so just chuck them down there. Other than that, thank you very much for listening and watching, and we will catch you next week.
Stay frantic.
Thanks.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to Frantic Nerdcast.
You can find all our latest news and information on Facebook or at franticnerdcast.com.
You can find us on Instagram at Frantic Nerdcast. Find AJ at Weird Art by AJ. Find Zach at Frantic Kaz and myself at Frantic Brock.
Please make sure to head over to our YouTube channel and subscribe for more YouTube-only content like Sequelize It and Plays Games.